Well, you know, there's about zero tolerance in the city of McCook, but not just the city. The federal and the state governments and the schools, they all have zero tolerance for a lot of things, a lot of crimes, a lot of words. Zero tolerance, you hear it all the time. I see things a little bit different though. Over the years, I parked next to the high school and junior high for 22 years. One time I had the kids come out while I was selling inside my candy truck. All four tires, they let the air out of all four tires, and I was selling in there, and it went down, you know, and they let the air out of all four tires, and they just didn't let the air out, they took the valve stems out of them too. And but I didn't get mad. I just paid $35 to have somebody come up and put new valve stems in and air up the tires again and go on down the road. I didn't turn anybody in. And I had numerous things like that happen through the years. And I had, I figure, give or take, about 500 kids shoplift from me. Most of it small items, but they were stealing from me, and I just asked them to put it back, and all was forgiven. And I know that makes cops and teachers and even some preachers get pretty upset with me, because they think I should demand a pound of flesh for any crime committed against me or offense against me. And I see things a little bit differently. And I started thinking that way when I was a kid. When I was 5 years old, the next farm over from where our farm was, my father was a sharecropper, and the next farm over was 5 miles, and that was an elderly couple. Their children were already grown and gone. And one night we went over there for supper, and I just played around, and then that next morning I woke up, and my mother woke me up there in my bed, and she said, "What's all these red stripes?" And she then dug around a little bit and found a little red lipstick. And she said, "I know where you got that. You stole this from that old lady." And she said, "Come on." Dressed me, and in the pickup, and 5 miles we drove back over to that place. And she made me get out of the pickup by myself and go to the door and say I was sorry and give back the lipstick. And I knocked on the door, and by then I was crying because I was scared. And the old lady came. She said, "Well, what's wrong?" And I said, "I stole this lipstick. I'm sorry." And she said, "Well, come on in the house." And I went in the house. And she said, "All I want to know is why would a 5-year-old boy want lipstick?" And I said, "Well, I wanted it for war paint. You know, I wanted to be an Indian. Most of the television shows in the late 1950s were cowboy and Indian shows, so I just wanted to be an Indian." And she smiled and said, "Well, come with me." And went in the bathroom, and she said, "You know, that red isn't a very good red." She said, "Here's a better one." She painted the red markings on me. She said, "That's a good Indian, but not a great Indian. Come on." She took me by the hand. We went out to the chicken house, and she found some feathers for me. And then we went back into the house, and she then took one of the hats. She had a bunch of hats there, and she took off a hat band off one of the hats and measured it and sewed it up for me and put those feathers and sewed them on it. Put it on. She said, "Now you're a good Indian." She said, "Have you eaten?" And I said, "Not yet." And she said, "Well, would you like an egg sandwich?" I said, "Yeah." And so she said, "Sit down, I'll cook you an egg sandwich." And so she was cooking me an egg sandwich, and my mother came in just then, and she said, "Wait a minute, he's in trouble. He stole from you." And she said, he said he was sorry, and I forgave him. And that's the end of the story. And I kind of learned from that, if you will, that it's just as easy to forgive rather than hold a grudge and be mad at somebody forever or for anything. And because everybody makes mistakes, even preachers, teachers, and cops. And so that's the way I look at life, and I hope you consider looking at it that way too. I think you'll have a lot better life for you and whoever has offended you. This is McCook's Mr. Bill. Have a good day.